Plate spinning. Plate spinning, great question. Who knows plate spinning theorem better, Rollo Tomassi or Larry Chang? Who? That's a question. It's an active question. I'm waiting. So, problem. Rollo Tomassi last did this theory in the 90s. Solution. Change the Y to an M. Done. Plate spinning isn't a theory, it's a theorem. And the fact that one of the two people don't understand that is massively horrendous. Did I just solve entrepreneurship in a nutshell? Yeah. Because we don't, at Stanford University, we don't do entrepreneurship theory. What do? Exactly. And the fact that, like, he doesn't have 8th grade geometry, which is sophomore year high school geometry, under his belt, that's a massive problem. Solution. Plate spinning, bullet pointed as a theorem. 1. Plate spinning. I would start with The Office, where it's the office on the dance floor where you're having women apply to be near your office. Bullet point 2. How many cold opens are you doing per year? Because there is a giant hole in plate spinning when you don't tell me how to do lead gen. Lead gen, bullet point number 3. How are you doing cold opens? If you're getting negative results on your cold opens, shouldn't you find a cold open mentor? And why is, if you're going to talk about plate spinning, how do you jump right to $1 billion or a ton of plates to spin? Tell me how to spin one plate. Is there any content on that? 0. I could do 100 more bullet points, but you said plate spinning. Do you have any questions on that stuff? How genius was that? Because he talks about spinning 9 plates as a person who you can't spin 9 plates. But he says that in his theory. And so you're like, so you're telling me I can't spin 9 plates, and you're telling me other dudes unconsciously, competently spin 9 plates. How do I spin 2 plates? Just like Peter Thiel doesn't know 0 to 2 plates. Bam! That's point number 5. Is this gold? Is this gold? Is this gold? Is this gold? That was gold. Because I DJ'd 0 to 2. Because that's a new franchise for Rollo. Is 0 to 1 plate. Now it's 0 to 2. And so that's funny. So who understands his content better? And you see how I literally just proved it to you in a 3-minute staccato burst. And the M and the Y, while solving Peter Thiel's 0 to 1. Because you can't just talk about vagina. Because then women are like, dick's easy for me. What else you got? Which is how what? And that's what plate spinning. That's literally the next bullet point for plate spinning, which is what you just said, which is you can't just keep womanizing. But like, you have to know the theorems behind it. What you just said is literally spot on. because you can't just keep doing lead gen and plate spinning. You need to now have an on deck circle of women that want to fuck you, but then you put into the thank you, let's take your sexual energy and let's think and grow rich with it, chapter 11, which is spinning plates in a way that he doesn't understand. And do you see how, like, I made the ostentatious claim of plate spinning, but who understands Rollo Tomassi content better? No, it's not no. You don't get to say that. You don't get to say that. Because obviously nobody can be as smart as me because I'm the second smartest motherfucker on the planet, but that demoralizes you. What helps is a more specific tonality or statement, which is what? I can be smarter than anybody if I read. And you see how, like, now how do you read when you have that attitude? You read voraciously, where I want to consume your book because I want to have your knowledge of a 7-year-old or of a 52-year-old Stephen Blank. Right? And so how do you read now? You read like you're voraciously appetite. Whereas what you said was demoralizing, and thank you for the compliment, but I don't want the compliment. And two, thank you for the compliment, but the compliment needs to also be a double-edged where it serves you for how quickly you progress, right? Yeah, okay. Next one, plate spinning. What's another one? We'll do one more before we go back to there you go. Oh my God. He is only about that. What? Like, hypergamy bad, okay? I absolutely do, but like, when was the last time he had something new on that topic? When was the last time he had something new? Like, there you go. What you just said, it's completely just regurgitated, where he goes back to the So Suave forum in 2006. That's the last time he had an innovation. There you go. And so I'm literally bibliographying his stuff without progression, right? Without progression. Okay, so these are the bullet points at this mark. Bullet point. Plate spinning for, what'd you say? Plate spinning for women is different from plate spinning for men because of the 3 laws of thermodynamics. Boom! Who has a PhD in aerospace engineering? Earned, not granted. Thank you for thinking it's Larry Chang, but it's actually the fucking Wright brothers. In Stanford Engineering, okay, BCC Yale Engineering, I know the Wright brothers only went to college for 1 year there, okay? I know, and I know that New Haven, okay, is a barely top 12 school in the Ivy, okay? Hat tip for you giving a PhD to my mother back when 0 women got a PhD in chemistry, okay? Hat tip you. But guess what? Instead of just giving a PhD to my mother, why don't you, mother scratching, find your brass little ball, okay, and give a PhD to the Wright brothers, because they still don't even have a bachelor's degree for inventing aerospace engineering. Did I just connect up flight to hypergamy? Yeah, because the 3 laws of thermodynamics, that's what's different. Like getting somebody to fornicate is different if you're a woman, because it's kind of easy. But getting a person to marry you, that's kind of different and harder. And so those are the 3 laws of thermodynamics applied to hypergamy. And that's the innovation, is within plate spinning. It actually connects right back to entrepreneurship, which is, why is it that only blonde females who are a billionaire all know Larry Chang? Like, why? Is that just luck? Okay? No, it's hypergamy for money. Because if you're so hypergamous and you want to sleep with everything, why don't you apply some of that sexual energy to money? Did I just bring up Napoleon Hill's book, chapter 11, sexual transmutation energy? There you go. There you go. And so I just helped Rollo put a bibliography of a book that he has heard about, but has read how many times? Be honest. How many times have Rollo? How many? 1.1, maybe 2.1. Yeah, and so that's me assembling your next book's bibliography. That's me assembling your next tome. That's your bibliography. Do you want to do another one, or did you want to progress with where we're going? He invited me to speak at his shit show. Yeah. And I mapped out his 10-year plan, and he is on day 0 of that 10-year plan. It kind of makes sense though, right? It kind of makes sense when you... What'd you say? What did you say? Does it? Does it? It doesn't. First of all, it's not a feminist manifesto, it's just blue pill. And I argue that red pill knowledge without orange pill or double orange pill actually hurts you and makes you go right to default black pill. And this is your language and their terminology, and I'm engulfing it with a 500 IQ that's read their books. You mentioned Unplugged Alpha, and I rifled off External API Rich Cooper. And so you're saying that red pill was useful, where I'm showing you in your own language with one sentence, because everybody interrupts me all the time, which is it's actually default unknowingly black pill. You're actually default black pill, but you don't know it yet. Kind of like a YC startup that won't leave $0. You're dead, you just don't know it. But I'm treating you like a YC cadaver by going, hey, do you realize that you're default blue pill and you're barely red pill, which means you're default black pill? And so blue pill, black pill is 0 orange. And so now it's, let's go 0 to 1 plate. Let's go 0 to 2. Because some dudes can get 1 plate, and it's actually 0 to 2 plates. And I just literally came up with that franchise because that's a meme, that's a compression algorithm for all the problems. So that's literally 5K is your joke franchise, which you should not do, which is 0 to 2. And do you see how easy 0 to 2 is? Because now you're just taking 2 books. Like, that's literally how I started my company in college. I took 2 fucking books and I just reread them over and over and over. Because what this 0 to 2 franchise is what are the APIs, Vandy? 0 to 2. Name an API for 0 to 2. It's a franchise. You came up with it. Don't do this, by the way. What's the 2 books that are in the bibliography for the franchise? You're writing the book 0 to 2, okay? If you read a book, you can write a book. Or I'm writing the book, so you're my assistant. Whatever helps you push forward. What's a bibliography? What's a book citation for 0 to 2? Good job, okay. And what's the other citation? And do you see how like this is how to get from 0 to 1, because I literally have been saying 0 to 1 and you just can't say Peter Thiel. And you're thinking 0 to 2. And I'm literally saying 0 to 2 like I'm saying 0 to 1. And you just can't spit out Peter Thiel. That's why this shit is genius. Because some people are going to be like, oh, Larry Chang's a scam artist. Larry Chang's a genius. Like, what's true? He gets you from 0 to 2. That's your answer. Forever from now on. That's your answer forever from now on. Because my knowledge, and this is between me and you, not just between me and you, because I'm recording my side. Whoa, shit, I should record my side. It doesn't matter. I understand the money and the vagina around 0. Because if you look at every other thing, rational male, it's the gossip around having 10 women that you sleep with per month. And then all the dudes who are at 0 are like, okay, so how do I get 0 to 2? And that's his hole. And Peter Thiel, in his book, like, he never talks about 0 to 1. And like, I wish he, would credit me, because that would help him. But every time he pretends to have never met me, he pretends that I never helped. Who does that benefit? That benefits me, because now I have longer arbitrage around what dollar figure. No, 0. And do you see how like it's so simple that you didn't write it down? Because that explains everything for everything. Why do you think Bill's brain was blown? Why is it whenever I talk to people, people are just like encaptured and they're just sucked into what people call the Larry vortex? It's because I get you off of 0. Because people are gossiping about how to run a marathon faster when they've never run a 2K. Fuck 5Ks. They can't run a 2K. And they're gossiping about how the last mile of the marathon, like, you literally are falling down a hill when you're running the last portion of the marathon. Like, it's so easy. Like, it's literally so easy. You could have it be 6 more miles and it'd be like similar shit. Ditto $52 million. Like, no, it wasn't crazy that you made $52 million at breakfast. Like, that's one of the meals of the day. So what? It's the information that gets you off of 0. Okay, 0 to 2 franchise. Keep listing APIs. I got one. I'm citing it back to We Fucked Up. Psycho-Cybernetics. It's a book, Maxwell Maltz. Yeah, which is why your failure to do 35 or 25 or 15 tweets that you favorite and then write down for PQRST, that would be one of them, which is psychocybernetics. And do you see how like you're getting the money, which was free, and you're not picking it up because that's literally in the PQRST feed, which is psychocybernetics. That's 0 to 2. That's we fucked up. We did not fuck up. You didn't fuck it up. I didn't fuck it up last night because it was, or 2 nights ago because it was great. But you put the spin or pattern recognition on it not being successful when I know you've never cold opened 4 people and then had them walk away from you with a hangdog look, like a hungry puppy, just doe-eyed, walking away. Like, you've never had that. There's no way that you have. I don't know, I have. I'm kidding. Right? And so, do you see how, like, now your brain can't succeed? Because you literally were the best performing plate spinner, your words, not mine. And you started with we fucked up. That's psychocybernetics. That's you trying to get to a bad dollar amount after you've already gotten to a high dollar amount. Happens all the time with people losing $1 million after they make $1 million. 0 to 2, your turn. That's a pass after a fucking minute. Rich Cooper, Unplugged Alpha. But basically, when I started my business, I took 2 books, What They Don't Teach You at Harvard Business School and The Ultimate Credit Handbook. And I just connected the 2 to connect into my company. What's my company? It doesn't matter. So those are the 2 books, doesn't matter. Those are the 2 books that I conjured up. And so you just take 2 books, Think and Grow Rich and Rational Male, and that's your 0 to 2. And you've already read both of them. And so now you need to write down 12 sentences for 0 to 2. So that's your work that you then lock, is 12 sentences for just 12 sentences. It's not a book report. What's my version? Oh, what a good question. My version of 12 sentences is a PhD sitting over at Harvard on 5 books. PhD, not aerospace engineering, Harvard. On 5 books. The sequel to 5 books together in 1 book, which is the 5th Epiphany. So 5th Epiphany is, when I say 5th Epiphany, what do you think when I say 5th Epiphany? When I say 4th Epiphany, what do you think? When I say 4 steps to the Epiphany, what do you think? So the 2 pages that I gave you, that's actually $1 million. And the fact that you're just reading it now after I'm initiating a phone call is how you approach your lucking into $3 million in money that you did not earn. It is totally true, right? Because everyone, well, except for you now, you're not going to. I even have the most scandalously awesome story with which is why I even talk about plate spinning in vagina, because nobody wants to hear about PhD level genius entrepreneurship shit. Is that blowing your mind right now? Because what happened at the Giants fundraiser with that hot girl who's getting hit on by the LA whale? Okay, so what book did the LA whale tell me to read? You have it in your notes. And now, will you ever lose it? Will you ever lose this now? You will not, because it's 4 steps to the epiphany, Steve Blank. I even talked about customer development. I even talked about customer cycle in Crossing the Chasm. Because, and then what happened when I met him? Okay. And do you see, and then where did I sit at the Dave McClure dinner that I did not have a ticket for, but I brought exact change? Where did I sit? Did I sit outside? Where did I sit though? VIP is incredibly general. Where did I sit? Table 1. And then what did I do as soon as I got a free ticket from Steve Blank? What was the first thing I did? Because if you don't fucking do that, I will literally laugh at you for having scarcity mindset or whatever mindset that is racist that I'm thinking about, which is actually true. Because if you skip that step, I will literally be laughing at you because I literally am demanding that you write that down, because everybody skips that step. Like when I got into Stanford for free, I didn't just say, ha ha, I saved 270 grand. Okay, I did not. What did I do? I went and paid. Yeah, you heard that correctly. No, you heard that correctly. No, why would I? Donating it would just be, no, I still paid. Put a pin in that. Put a pin in that. What book that LA whale told me to read? What book? The fact that you didn't order that book is telltale to where you were versus who you should be, which is why I'm phone calling you right now. Because it's Sunday and like this is sort of work related, but it's kind of not, but it's also Sunday. Like, what the fuck am I calling for, right? Well, I didn't know until now, because you should have fucking ordered that fucking book. But that's okay that you haven't, okay? Maybe it'll take you 10 years, just like Rollo Tomassi. In fact, I'm gonna just refer to you here on out, okay, as Rollo. Because I told Rollo his 10-year plan, okay? I gave it to him for fucking free. And ... 4 steps to the epiphany. Like, will you ever forget that? Because I had to pay for that. And ditto the 3 women who I made out with. Stop! This is my date. Stop! Okay. Literally, she was literally doing this motion. Stop! Okay. And literally everybody clapped. Literally everybody was like, they weren't just doing, they literally stood up and were like, she was like, okay. Can you see the body language? Okay, stop making out with hotter people than me. Okay. Do you see the body language in that? Yeah, because she was like, I'm never letting go of this. This is like prime. My body language is causing me to yard sale my phone. Can you see her body language when I was making out with the 3rd girl? Okay already, okay. She literally was like having an orgasm, and then the LA dude was like, I've never seen that kind of game before. I'm like, you brought LA You brought LA game to Giant Stadium, okay? What protocol was I running? Because that's plate spinning. That's plate spinning and hypergamy. I'm Larry Chang. Okay, so that's hypergamy. That's plate spinning. What protocol was I doing? Oh my God, your notes suck. Your notes suck. Your notes literally suck. And I'm literally dropping hints. Do you see how you're going to be rich because of this conversation that you're taking notes on? Because I'm asking you a specific question. Okay, before we proceed, take a picture of those 2 pages of notes. Because I've also seen when people are like, I don't want to know this. And they'll literally burn the 2 pages. So take a picture of those 2 pages of notes now. So that way I can give them back to you when you're on the board of some stupid company in 60 years. I'll be like, yeah, that would be blah, 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 right on line 17, page 2. And they'll be like, what? You memorized it? I'm like, yeah, you only took 2 pages. Seriously, take a picture of those 2 pages, and then you'll have more time to answer the question. And you're fucking welcome. You're welcome. I literally almost spit. Because I was like, oh yeah. Just, okay, so I'm assuming you already texted it too. Because I gotta press forward. I don't have to go, okay? But I'm pressing forward. Do you like the language there? That's time as a flat circle. That's me seemingly having unlimited time, which is why you slipped with the best friend. Focus. What protocol am I running on hypergamy, hers, plate spinning, mine? What protocol? At Giant Stadium with LA Whale hitting on my date. What protocol? I probably only said it 11 times. So, nope. It's HTG, HFA, OTR, Chapter 13. HTG, HFA, OTR, which is in addition to Chapter 13. It's right in your notes. How to get home field advantage on the road while you're at home. Some teams can't get home field advantage at home. That's me losing home field advantage at home. Who was I losing home field advantage to? Who's I losing home field advantage to? Yeah! How did I get it back? No, what did I exactly do? I didn't go 0 to 2. What did I do? I didn't go 0 to 0, and I definitely didn't go home. A lot of dudes go home then, and they stay at 0. They went from 1 to 0. Oh my God. Do you see how genius this is? They literally go from 1 to 0. Exactly. What did I do to get back to solving hypergamy and plate spinning? Oh my God, you never, okay, so this is your brain, this is your brain, and you're welcome, because I literally, we're bordering on to, what's that thing that people do when they are depressed, they go talk to a person? What's that called? Therapy. This is not therapy. In one sentence. No, it's not those words, those theoretical concepts that you said. I went 0 to 3. That's your one sentence for therapy. Is you went into therapy, and as your therapist, I'm telling you to go from 0 to 3. Or at least remember that I had to go 0 to 3 to solve what 2 things? hypergamy plate spinning. And do you see how this is theorem and not theory? Theory is the two genius phrases that you said that gets you an A. Scarcity mindset and whatever genius thing that you said. But that's theory. Theorem is the thing that you forgot that I did, which is I made out with 3 women, 2.5 actually. Because at the third one, it's like, no, okay, stop. She literally, and then literally people applauded. And then Giant Staff was like, let's have Cowboy Larry come back to like anything he wants. Do you play? Like people will be like, what are you? Okay, stop. Okay, stop. It's 0 to 3. And then when I failed with the first girl, I went right to the next girl. That's 0 to 3. And me trying, because it could have failed, which is the 5th epiphany, which is us going back to PhD Harvard. Thesis is the theorem of there's actually 5 epiphanies because Mr. Blank actually left off one of them. And I graciously told him. And then did he believe me when I told him? When I told him. Oh, he definitely believed me. Because rich people and smart people, they always get it. Why? Because they're rich and smart. So I came up with the 5th epiphany. And it's connecting to 4 people's books that he read but didn't connect, which is why I wrote the book summary called The 5th Epiphany, which is based on which one book. When I say the 5th Epiphany, what do you think of? You get an A for that, okay, but also $0. And that's at the heart of why I get to literally just show up at MIT and run it. Because what you said gets you into MIT, okay? But you won't get the money that, or whatever you're trying to get, vagina. Let's just call it what it is, vagina, because that's what this phone call's about, is fucking lead generation, because you're trying to recreate your 4 top cold open. That's what this video is. Recreating the genius of your genius on the 4 top cold open. Because you literally were doing plate spinning and hypergamy management and you didn't even know it. Do you see why I get to run shit at Vandy? Okay? Do you see? Because you said something and I'm using the thing that you already did to give you more confidence as I'm kind of yelling at you like I'm Augie Garrido. Do you see that? Like, because that's a new framework for this phone conversation. 1 hour. Because what this phone conversation actually is how do I recreate my legendary shit? Right? Right? Because, like, almost. Which is why no one else is getting a phone call, okay? And everyone else would actually be fucking scared. Because you're like, oh, Larry's gonna charge me $5,000 a week to do his VAS surface. Vagina as a surface. Get it? VAS. Come on, that was funny. Oh my god. Oh my god. Do you see why stand-up comedy is like not necessarily kind of easy, but I will literally tell the same joke over and over and over, and 3 dudes out of 50 will laugh so hard that the other people are guilted into laughing because they're like, I don't even know what's so funny, but like, why are the 3 genius dudes who are software engineers who are also millionaires, why are they laughing so hard? Right? You can see that. The sentence that you didn't say, which you need to say, which is, when you say fifth epiphany, all I hear is you added 1 to Steve Blank's book, 4 Steps to the Epiphany. And that's how simple it is, and that's the money. Because you, the way you said it was almost 99% that. But it's wrong. Like South Pole, North Pole, rotating axes wrong. Because you have to see that fifth epiphany is Steve Blank's genius shit +1. That's all you need to do is to get off of 0. Like when people are depressed, like I would be depressed if I were you too. Like why doesn't your therapist just say that? Like you suck. You're a hypergamy bitch. There you go. Like you're hypergamous and you don't even know it. And you trying to get plate spinning as a woman, you're like, that's not how your body is biologically wired. Like you're trying to spread seed like you're a dude. Go forth and no longer be depressed. And I'm sort of joking about all this shit, but all the jokes are 100% accurate, right? It's not. But do you see how it's not exact? You can't say that. Because it does. Editing your statement before we jump back onto fifth epiphany, therapy is a business model that most people don't understand. That's more accurate, right? Because what you're saying is debunked in like, and then also you're making a statement where you're throwing a Hail Mary and you're adding to what was said versus, and then taking a risk. Kind of like when you're like, oh, are you guys buying me drinks? Like you're adding a +1 in the wrong direction. Yeah, it's great, right? Because now you'll just be like, oh, expand on a prior, expand on a prior. What prior do I have to expand on? Which is why I gamified the 4 top cold open that you did that was genius, which was solving hypergamy and plate spinning. Right? Okay, 5 books, which you should Google the article, which is Fifth Epiphany, and it's 5 books. And because it's of an IQ 500 drop on top of your head, I went ahead and made it funny by bringing in Mr. Peabody, the cartoon character, which is also episode 2 of Rick and Morty. Are you a fan? That's okay. Just watch one episode. Episode 2, season 1, Lawnmower Dog. It's a dog who takes over the planet. Ditto Mr. Peabody. He's a dog who adopts a human. Why? Because he has a time machine, which is chapter 11, Joe Dispenza, which is what this is. You're in a time machine. You've always wanted a time machine. You just didn't know that it's PQRST. That's the time machine. And so, which is Lawnmower Dog, because the dog is so smart that he's Lawnmower Man, the Keanu Reeves movie before Matrix. And so this explains red pill, hypergamy is Mr. Peabody, the dog, which brings us full circle with the Australian Shepherd, because when I dropped that gem of genius, you're like, who the fuck is this guy? Remember? That's Lawnmower Dog. I'm running protocol Lawnmower Dog by explaining to you how an Australian Shepherd works in a way that you're like, oh, okay. Which is Mr. Peabody. 5 books. What they don't teach you at Harvard Business School, which should be on your list. Eric Ries's Lean Startup, Jeffrey Moore, Crossing the Chasm, and Alexander Ostrander, Business Model Generation. Those 5 books have a sequel book. And since people don't want to read a book written by the second smartest human on the planet, which is technically number 1 smartest human on the planet, I went ahead and wrote a book summary of my book and put it at what school? Yes, my safety school, Harvard. I know. It's not humble, it's a theorem. And like, I wouldn't be caught dead going, you know, but like that's plan B. Business Model Generation, Alexander Ostrander. And then let's say you don't have time to read all these books, at least memorize page 172 of all the books. And that way you won't seem like you don't read, or you're recommending a book that you haven't read. So at least memorize page 172. You're fucking welcome. So the PhD thesis, when that dropped, what happened? I literally solved Y Combinator's fatality rate of over 50%, 85%. I literally solved it. And did YC invite me as a partner? YC, you know, Y Combinator. Did they invite me as a partner after I literally solved their problem? Who knows Y Combinator stuff better, YC Partners or the Third Institution of Silicon Valley? Larry Chang, obviously. This is shit that people said about me that was a criticism. I'm like, how's that a criticism? Like, I want to start using it. What? Yeah, along with Vagina Whisperer. Along with Vagina Whisperer. That was a criticism. Because they were trying to say pussy magnet. And I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm going to write a PhD thesis about how you don't know what you're talking about. Which is Hazel Grace Dirksen. Like, Vagina Whisperer is a PhD thesis on the fact that she didn't know what she was talking about. But then I had to figure out what she was talking about and then tell her what she was talking about. Back to YC. Who understands YC content better? Name a YC thing. Name a YC thing that YC says. If you've ever read anything or watched a video on it. That's okay. That's okay. There you go. So just watch. There you go. And this is what makes employee number 10 like befuddled, where you're like, what? That's how it works? Yeah, so this is shit that Brian Armstrong should be connecting on versus going, oh my God, I see him at every party. What the fuck? That's the Third Institution in Silicon Valley. Party's better than you, bang's better than you, and knows YC shit somehow better, even though he never went to Stanford. Google one thing that YC says or does or is. One of them, I'll just give you that. Distribution, Sam Altman. We talked about it already. That's page 1 at the bottom. Do you text me the 2 pages of notes? Did you text me the 2 pages of notes? Fifth ask. Second ask? Definitely more than one ask. Is it done? Is it not done? I'll wait. No, my God. Do you see? That's, you keep the legs in there. Oh my God. It doesn't matter. We're burning energy, not moving forward. Do you see? That'll be the third thing, cropping legs. You said first thing we fucked up, second thing is the 0, number 3 is cropping legs. And I'll be hard on you privately, but publicly at a party, like, it won't be. Obviously, because at a party you'll be running 2 protocols on the foretop. Oh my God, that's number 4, and 1, which is the foretop. Oh my God. Come on, that's some genius level shit for connecting rollo Tomassi, hypergamy, and plate spinning back to your genius shit of the foretop by getting you to go from unconscious competent to conscious competent to PhD in how to open a foretop. Right? Not even joking about PhD, by the way. People can't cold open. Oh, people just wish they had a bachelor's in that. They just can't do any of it. 0 plates. Yep. There you go. Okay, so bottom page 1, I'm guessing, I'm not looking, was Sam Altman, September 14, 2015. How do you like my memory? Seems like I'm IQ 500, doesn't it? Yeah, there's a book for that. It's called Moonwalking with Einstein. And so you said YC, or we said YC, and the question was, who knows YC content better? YC or we'll just refer to as Larry Chang. I don't want that because I am a Chinese person, and Chinese person don't talk shit like that. Because guess what? When I talk shit like that, what do I got to do as an Asian person? What do I got to do? Now I got to back it up. Not with 1, the way that black and white people got to back it up with 1. I got to back it up on at least 2. So now the burn's on me to understand every retarded thing that YC says, and now I got to learn how you're being retarded. Gay and retarded, but let's just go retarded. Gay and retarded. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Distribution. Oh, it's written already, which is why I was not joking. Were you there for the holiday party portion of it, where the dudes were starting to like hump my leg? I'm like, before you literally start humping my leg, okay, I gotta let you know that I run the Silicon Valley gay mafia. And people are like, I don't care. Yeah, it was quite funny because it's actually true, not in a way that gets deal flow or plate spinning, but because I literally understood childhood trauma that gay dudes in Silicon Valley experienced. And I solved their trauma, and I recommended that they no longer traumatize other people. How crazy is that? Because it's based on trauma. Okay, fuck that shit. Like, not literally fuck that shit, like set that shit aside. YC distribution. Like, I dropped 60,000 tweets prior to him asking that question. So I am his chat GPT. Is this blowing your mind right now? I'm literally his chat GPT by hamster wheeling up. You know the joke of a yellow box, like there's black box programming, there's white box programming, and what's yellow box programming or brown box programming? Is you send the hot dog or not hot dog, is this a dick pic or is this not a dick pic? And humans are actually hamster wheeling the back end. That's me with Sam Altman's chat GPT, where he's asking, you ask chat GPT questions, and then it drops like an avalanche of information on you. And you're like, what the fuck? This is creepy. That's what I did to him 2012. Because he asked the question September 14, 2015. And everybody was like, Larry already did this. And then he, to his credit, he didn't delete the tweet. To his credit, to Sam Altman's credit, he did not delete the tweet. I'm the leading cause of YC people deleting their tweets. I am the leading cause of YC partners deleting their tweets. Are you talking? I can't hear you. And I wish that weren't true. Does your mind need a break? Cool. What'd you do last night? Yeah, you should be. What'd you say? Oh, cool. Cool. That's awesome. Did you, when did you wake up after going to bed at 3:30? What do you think Bill did when he dreamt?